Hi, Tom deHaas, OSU Extension Lake County. We're going to be visiting a Christmas tree farm looking at different varieties of Christmas trees. So I invite you to come along and try to select the tree that you'll want for your Christmas tree this year. So here we are at Greig's Christmas tree farm with Jeff Greig. Jeff, can you tell us a little bit about Greig's tree farm, a little history?
Sure. We've been a Christmas tree farm since 1956. And our farm is located in Ashtabula County, but we sell trees out of our family home in Willoughby Hills. So everything for us is pre-cut. We cut as late as possible. We even let people come out and tag trees and then cut them for them at different times. But we start the selling season the day after Thanksgiving, and we stay open until we sell out.
And we'll get a little tour of the farm now.
Going right to Canaan? Okay. This is a Canaan Fir, and this is becoming a very popular Christmas tree in Ohio. Very similar to a Fraser Fir. It's got the green top side and kind of the light green silver underside. It's got a lot of the same characteristics as a Fraser Fir. It holds its needles well. It's got a really nice smell. It'll hold the ornaments real well. The big advantage for us in Ohio with this is that they'll grow in Ohio a lot easier than the Fraser Fir will. So this is becoming a very popular tree, and especially in Ohio, and it's one of our best trees.
And this whole field is Canaan, huh?
Yeah.
Here we are at Greig's Christmas tree farm and looking at some different varieties of trees. So Jeff, what do you got here?
This is a white pine, and it's not the most popular Christmas tree, but there are definitely some people that like it. It's a very soft tree and has excellent needle retention, nice color, and one of the things that people like about it is that it doesn't drop any of its needles throughout the Christmas season. A little harder to decorate because the branches aren't real heavy, but people just have to decorate a little bit more of the inside of the tree of a white pine rather than the outside. But it's a nice tree. It grows fast in Ohio, so this tree is just about an 8-footer, so it's probably just 8 or 9 years old, so we usually get about a foot a year, and that's our white pine. This is a Norway Spruce, and short needles, dark green, nice smell, but you don't want to put this up as a Christmas tree anytime before December 1st. This type of tree will traditionally lose its needles pretty quickly. The longer you keep it up, the warmer the house is, but it's a fast-growing spruce. A lot of people use it for landscape, but there are definitely people that will use it as a Christmas tree. As long as you're cutting it later in the season, Norway Spruce is not too bad.
Go ahead.
This is a blue spruce. Yeah, if you go back in the history of Christmas trees, lots of people used to love to get a blue spruce. It was traditionally a very expensive tree because the color made it a lot more expensive. If you got a true blue, then you were paying a premium for that. Heavy branches, lots of heavy ornaments can go on here, but very prickly. The other thing about a blue spruce is people can have a lot of mixed results with a blue spruce. The earlier it's cut, the more likely you are to see some needle drop, but if you cut it at the right time, some people say they've kept it up well into January, and they have good needle retention with it. So just depending on how you take care of the tree is going to determine whether or not you have good needle retention. But when you get a true blue, it's really got quite a look to it, and that's the blue spruce. All right, here we have a Fraser Fir. Again, a little bit difficult to grow in Ohio, but when you take a look at the Fraser Fir, especially compared to the Canaan Fir, the contrast between the top and the underside is going to be a lot more of a contrast. Heavy branches, good color, excellent needle retention. This has become the Cadillac of Christmas trees, especially east of the Mississippi. So we don't grow very many of them, but when we do, they turn out like this. Okay. All right, this is a grand fir, and you can see it's a little bit more open, a little bit more room between the branches. Still a good Christmas tree, nice needle retention, and it's a little longer needle than the Canaan and the Fraser. The thing that really separates this tree from all the others, it has a very distinctive smell, and it will smell up the house in a good way, not in a bad way, but it'll definitely smell up the house. This is a little bit more of a West Coast tree. They grow a lot of them west of the Mississippi. There are definitely places east of the Mississippi that grow them, but we have a few on the farm, so that's a grand fir.
So Jeff had his favorite. One of my favorite Christmas trees is concolor fir or white fir. It's got a very blue-green color to it, very similar to a blue spruce, and soft needles, kind of a fairly large needle, but makes a very nice Christmas tree, lasts for a long time. Not as fragrant as Fraser, but it is a fragrant tree. So another nice choice if you want to consider one of the firs. This one is white fir. One other tree that's used as a Christmas tree is Douglas fir. It's not really a fir at all. It's actually Pseudotsuga menziesii, whereas the genus on firs is all Abies. But it makes a nice tree, kind of a darker green. They tend to hold their needles. Obviously this is a really big one here, but Douglas fir, another possible choice. You may see these with your other Christmas trees. Kind of has a drooping branch habit, and makes a nice Christmas tree, dark green, and holds their needles. Another variety that Jeff hadn't mentioned but is sometimes available for Christmas tree growers is Korean fir. This is an example of Korean fir. It's got a nice thick branching habit, has that nice dark green, and you can kind of see a little bit of a blue-green underneath. So Korean fir is becoming more popular. So Jeff, you've given us some background on different kinds of trees. If you had to pick, what would be your favorite tree?
Oh, I'd have to go with the Canaan Fir for us. It's easy to grow in Ohio. It's got a real similar look to a Fraser, which is a beautiful tree as well. But these are the ones that I would pick as my personal favorite, the Canaan Fir.
So have you guys ever entered any contests?
Every year, the Ohio Christmas Tree Growers Association has a contest at the Ohio State Fair, and because of COVID-19, we were the grand champion in 2019, and there was no contest this year, so yes, we're still the reigning champion for the Ohio Christmas Tree Growers Association Christmas tree. So we've won a few times before that as well, and in 2019 we were able to participate in the National Tree Contest. The winner of the National Tree Contest goes to the White House, and the second place tree goes to the Vice President. So we didn't make it to the finals, but we took a beautiful tree. Maybe in a couple of years we'll have a winning tree there.